You're sweating and bleeding. And they show him like he's Mr. Ohio State. He hasn't spent a day on that campus. Okay? So what are we doing? Can someone explain that to me, too?
Yeah, no, I can't, actually.
And then he's got, whoa. He's got Buckeyes on his hat? What did he do to get Buckeyes? You got to play for Ohio State to get Buckeyes. I mean, the whole thing was just made me seethe last night.
And this morning to some degree as well. If we can only harness your seething to warm up our internet cords, we'd be in good shape. All right, so let's start with, you said 6X. Ohio State.
30 million.
I remember at one point when we were kind of in the early stages of NIL that the big quote was like that Ryan Day needed $13 million just to keep his roster together from like 2 years ago. You remember this? So now it's gone that high with Ohio State. And how are we? You're the solutions guy. So
I
you
don't
are
know
clearly angry.
In fairness, Jason, I don't know what their exact price take. I know they spend.
I understand. Maybe a little hyperbole, maybe not. But the
solution is salary cap and collective bargaining, just like the NFL. That is the solution to a problem. I don't know how we get there because we have no functioning body that's actually going to enforce anything. So as we sit here today, it's a complete blank show. It's the Wild West. Nobody has any way of reining anything in. Now, the good news is the Big Ten has won and has now surpassed the SEC, which I didn't think I'd ever see in my lifetime. So that's the good news, because I'm always going to be a Big Ten guy, sans Ohio State. I don't know why. I don't have a problem with Michigan, but I do have a problem with Ohio State. The Big Ten is the king, which is awesome. I'm going to always be a Big Ten guy, but there is no concrete solution to what we're seeing unless you collectively bargain and get this thing so that we're all playing in the same arena. Because right now we're not. And it makes me think that it's just even further and further away from being able to chase. And I know people will say, well, what about Indiana? What about this? That's fair, but is Indiana ever going to win 4 in a row against the big boys like that? I doubt it.
Let me help you. No.
Okay. Great.
So what? You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. I guess my question is, do you have any hope that there will be changes forthcoming? Because you do not. I mean, you love college football, and you do not want to feel this way at the end of every season, and you're going to unless they figure something out.
Or Wisconsin finds a way to get a monster payroll and can compete in that realm. I do think there's hope. I think there's obviously a bunch of litigation that's being being settled as we sit here, but I don't know what that's going to mean. I don't know how you get to a point where every school that's going to be in this whatever amount of teams in a conference in this new league, I don't know how you get it where everybody feels like they have a fighting chance, because prior to this we didn't. A lot of schools didn't have that, and it's only gotten worse. And the fact that Ohio State has all the talent and all of the, they have so many first-round picks and they're able to pay their guys more, it's going to get old quick. Just like I think Alabama and Georgia getting old quick got, and that's why they expanded, so that they gave you the illusion of more hope. The only way to actually do it is to say, we're going to get this thing so it's going to be a level playing field. And then it comes down to coaching, organization, and developing players. And it just feels like we are so far away from that I don't know what that formula is going to be to strip some of that back to get it where it is going to be even. I don't have an answer. And that, I think, is probably another reason why I'm so frustrated.
Yeah. Jesse, are you as frustrated as Tausch is? Because I turned the game off last night. I couldn't watch it anymore because I felt exactly the way Tausch is feeling this morning.
I watched the entire game and I was entertained. So no, I guess I don't feel the same way.
Entertain me.
I thought the 12-team playoff was a success. I thought it did what I hoped it would, which is combine the best of the most deserving and best teams argument, having a chance to win a championship. Ohio State proved to be the best team when it came to playoff time. They earned it throughout the regular season, and Notre Dame did too. They lost one game early. They won every game since. They won their way, winning 3 games each to get to the championship game. I'm glad the Big Ten won. I'm glad the SEC wasn't part of the championship game, and I'm glad Notre Dame made a game of it because I was afraid Ohio State would run away with it last night, and it looked like they were going to, up 31-7, and it became an entertaining game down the stretch, and Notre Dame was 1 third down stop away from getting the ball back, having a chance to tie and make that thing really interesting. So I was entertained. I thought it was a successful college football season. There's a lot of problems with the sport. Hopefully Wisconsin and what's going on with Xavier Lucas in Miami is actually going to help lead to some solutions there, and we'll see what happens next year. But overall, I'd say this was a successful college football season, better than the last few years had been, no doubt.
Am I not surprised that you were entertained and happy with last night's entertainment, since that's what we're calling it?
So I have a YouTube comment here from Jeff. Why the hell did Tausch watch the college football playoff championship game? If he can't stand Ohio State like myself, don't watch the game. I didn't watch, and I've been a college football fan since 1963.
I get it. Because it was there, it was cold, and I wanted to. And I was and I also had some prize picks on the line. So there's a lot of reasons. I did want to. Well, I did. I love college football. So I don't love what we're morphing into, though. I saw it coming. You see it coming. I don't like it, and I don't. The thing that irritates me is I don't have a great answer. I'm a solutions person. It's what I like to do, and I don't have anything for you. Sorry. I'm like Winston Moss. I can't help you, and that bothers me.
Well, Pella Windows and Doors can help you with great windows that keep this bitter cold outside and you protected and nice and warm and toasty inside, no matter how you feel about the outcome of the college football season.
Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from the seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm, especially on days like today. Pella can make that home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But hurry up. You only have until January 31st, so visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Certain restrictions do apply.
I am curious about something that not the real Barry Alvarez on Twitter, Scary Alvarez, not to be confused with the co-host of the Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez on ESPN Madison, which you can hear tonight, by the way, at 6 p.m., said on social media. I want to delve into that before we get to Evan Cohen, see if he's got any solutions, or maybe he's happy with what college football is. And then after that, whether or not we can get to some Packers and NFL conversation. We'll do that all coming up. But we'll talk a little bit about, is the Big Ten the new SEC? That's next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
Wilde And Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
You would vote the opening of the show should be Brett Favre as an alien.
If a guy wrote a song for me, it would probably be my opening.
All right.
That's just me.
Well, but how many other people do you think have written a song for me?
None.
Pepper, what's your vote?
I will say 0 as well.
You guys are so mean and accurate.
All right, thank you.
The Homer Hour with Homer. Weekdays from 5 to 6. Right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Homer here. I'm inviting you to join me starting August the 9th as we explore the many shades of Ireland with Colette Vacations, a 10-day journey filled with legendary views, historic expeditions, and unforgettable tales. Explore the historic city of Dublin, kiss the famous Blarney Stone, and stand on the spectacular cliffs of Moher. We'll also journey Ireland's breathtaking countryside and follow the stunning coastal route of the Ring of Kerry. We'll experience the daily life of an Irish family with a dairy farm visit and enjoy a taste or two at a historic whiskey distillery. We'll even stay overnight in a medieval castle. Join me for all of the experiences and so many more. All the details are online at ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com. Don't worry about the planning. Colette handles all the details of this 10-day excursion. You can get full scoop of this once-in-a-lifetime trip on February the 2nd at 5 p.m. as I'll be hanging out with the Colette team at Maddie's Bar and Grill in New Berlin. That's February 2nd, 5 p.m. Maddie's in New Berlin. Don't miss out.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution. The IRS has you in their crosshairs. We are local and know how to deal with the IRS and state to solve your situation. Just the other week, we successfully removed the target on Nick to get $194,358 of taxes and penalties removed. This is why John Neal started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. You don't know the ins and outs of all the taxes they can charge you or the more than 150 penalties they can impose on you. Make the right choice and call us at 844-222-1192. We want to help so your bank account doesn't get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security garnished, or a lien put on your house. Get rid of that stress and get back to enjoying life. Call us at 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting. We understand how stressful this can be. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. That's 844-222-1192 or rightchoicetax.us.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. Zero sugar, zero carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Tausch back with you on this frigid Tuesday where I think it's only our internet, knock on wood, that's not working in our house. Which may, hopefully, Tausch, everything else is up and running. You've got your video so you can celebrate the Ohio State Buckeyes National Championship. Jesse, who is this Scary Do we know who Scary Alvarez is?
I do not. I do not know. As far as I know, it's Barry Alvarez's official Twitter account, but I guess I haven't asked him in the times I've filled in on the Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez if he actually does run it. So probably not him. That'd be my guess. But
at no. Barry is the Don is the
Doesn't seem like something he would make, but I guess I haven't asked to confirm.
Okay. And what did he tweet? This alter ego of Barry Alvarez?
The Big Ten is the new SEC. And then in a second tweet, except with good academics.
Oh, well, that's cute. So as we were discussing last night in our little text chain, what does that make Wisconsin what is the corollary SEC team to Wisconsin? Tausch?
Tennessee. Wisconsin would be Tennessee if we're starting to like sister city and sister campus are universities. I think Alabama and Ohio State, Michigan and probably Georgia. And then I would probably say Wisconsin is Tennessee. We're not quite – I know Tennessee's got the one national championship. I would look at our two Rose Bowls as being equated on the same line. We've got, put out some good players. We've got a great home field. There's a lot of things that mesh together if we're going to kind of compare and contrast who our SEC team would be.
So is that in our – like, because I want to agree with you, right? I do on this one. But I kind of feel like right now with the landscape of college football, which you were accurately depicting and bemoaning moments ago, I kind of feel like we're more like Arkansas or Vanderbilt.
We're not Vanderbilt.
And Northwestern's Vanderbilt. Yeah. Everybody knows that.
That's very fair. So tell me why Wisconsin isn't Arkansas in today's realm.
I just told you.
Didn't make a bowl game.
I just told you why we're Tennessee.
Weren't even bowl eligible. Tennessee was in the 12-team playoff.
It's not a one-year deal, Jason. You have to look at the history, and you have to look at the how things align and where you're viewed in the pantheon of the Big Ten compared to the SEC. And we're not
history means nothing
some bottom
now.
We're not some bottom dwelling operation. No, I'm not going to accept that. It's fair to say that we're not Alabama, Georgia, Florida. I'm with you. I think Penn State would be Florida.
You're pretty good at this, by the way.
What's that?
You're pretty good at this.
Well, who you got?
No, I agree with all those, but my problem is that I want, like I said, I want to agree with you on Wisconsin, Tennessee as the corollary because they've had success, undeniably. But now in the new college football landscape, Tennessee went to the college football playoff. The Badgers weren't even bowl eligible, and I'm worried that this is going to
by Ohio State too.
They did, and so did Oregon.
We got trucked by Minnesota.
That's true. Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. That happens.
That's true. It does.
Mike in the YouTube comments suggests Auburn as the comp for Wisconsin, which I had thought of when you posed this question. A team that has had a run at competing for championships, hasn't had a great go of it as of late, has been in some games against big opponents, but hasn't come out on top, and feels like they might have a couple of, like they're a year or two into a new head coach and aren't seeing the results they were hoping for yet.
Ooh, very good, actually. I like that a lot. I like it better than Tennessee. I'm sorry.
Tennessee also had the number one ranked men's basketball team like a week ago.
Yeah, we also had a national championship slip through our fingers. What's your point?
That was 10 years ago.
Happens. So what? Tennessee didn't win a championship since '98. Okay, great. Yeah,
we got that 2020 title still too, right? The banner and the virtual for that one. Yeah,
the virtual
BPI.
Well, how many women's hockey championships did any of those clowns got? None.
Yeah, volleyball.
How about volleyball? How's their volleyball program? Not very good. So let's go. If you want to start going down that route, cross country, we'll kick your keister. We'll run laps around you.
All right. Well, let's see if Evan Cohen, with his national perspective from Unsportsmanlike, can help us both with this SEC parallel and with our concerns about college football and Ohio State buying a national championship, some might say. We'll talk about that with him. He's coming up after Tausch tells us about what Fortria has going on this week?
They got a bunch of studies for you. Head over to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. Healthy adults ages 18 to 60, BMI 18 to 32. Study 2 stays, 15 nights, 7 follow-ups, $13,820 for your time and participation. Another $300 per qualified participant. Head over to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortrea, Fortrea, ClinicalTrials.com.
We'll get to Evan Cohen next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Now, we all experience daily struggles, and with so many concerns to be conscious of, breathing should not be one of them. Mark Tauscher here for Advent, and if you're like me and have had snoring issues, sinus problems, or difficulty breathing, then you'll want to meet the team at Advent. The team of Advent specialists have a few simple steps to help evaluate your individual limitations and get you back to breathing well. Since Advent addressed my snoring and nasal breathing issues, I feel great. I've never slept better, and my wife Sarah is incredibly appreciative. The team of Advent specialists listened to my struggles, found the best solution for me, and customized it to my needs. Take my word for it and go to adventknows.com to learn more about simple solutions to snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems. And schedule your appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Whether you are a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit our great city of Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Hey, maybe you got friends coming in from out of town. St. Kate the Arts Hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee with deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music. You and your friends will enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Big trucks can be intimidating. If you've been seriously injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. You don't want to take on the insurance company alone. Gruber Law Offices has the experience, the resources, and of course, the results. We know truck law. We know the rules and regulations. We know what it takes to win. Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Going
music means. Joining us now from Unsportsmanlike across ESPN Radio and ESPN Wisconsin, it is Evan Cohen on Wilde And Tausch. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you? Does anyone call you J-Dub, by the way? I was just thinking about this for some reason. I just walked by Jay Williams in our studio, and then I'm thinking, well, but like, has anyone ever called you J-Dubs for Jason Wilde?
J-Dub, yes. Eugene Robinson, when I was covering my first Packers team in 1996, started calling me that. And so multiple players did for a while. And then Aaron Rodgers went with J, which I didn't really like, but, he's Aaron Rodgers.
And do you still go out on the Saturday nights before the Super Bowl with Eugene, or no? Have you guys stopped that?
Oh, is that a low blow?
It's a tradition unlike any other.
That was a funny line. You got to admit
that was a great line. No, that was really good.
Jason is also the least likely person, maybe besides me, on planet Earth to do that. To go out on the Saturday night before the Super Bowl. As a member, I don't think Jason would go out on Saturday night before the Super Bowl.
Anyway, yes. So Eugene bounced back from that nicely, but yes, the on the verge of losing to the Denver Broncos, he had some other activities planned on the eve of the Super Bowl. Evan, I'm curious because I'm doing old school radio today, although I am using an app to do it. It's so cold here in Green Bay that the internet is out throughout the area. I can't see Tausch. I'm not visible on YouTube. You do a radio show that's on television now. We've come so far. Have you had to do any sort of radio of late or anything in your life where you've been missing a key piece of technology? Because I am struggling mightily today. I realize now how good I have it that I can do the show with Tausch every day and not actually be in the same room with him. And I'm dying here. It's just so different.
Okay, so it's not that recent, but back in the day when I was living in Florida, I did Florida Atlantic University football play-by-play, and I was particularly terrible at it. And my first ever FAU broadcast was on the road at Arkansas State. Obviously, very tricky place to play. Everybody knows about the power that is Arkansas State.
Tough to win there, yeah.
And the first ever game, none of the stuff worked. My analyst and I had to do the game on two separate landlines, sitting literally next to each other. I mean, think about Tausch. If you could help me on this, explain to the audience how close you and LePace sit to one another, and then think about doing that on two landlines next to each other. Please help me on that one.
That sounds awesome. That could be a ton of fun, too. It would be very disjointed, I would think, and tough to find any kind of a flow when you're...
But I'm saying, like, how close are you guys? You guys are, what, inches apart from each other during your broadcast, right?
I would say, yeah, just like a good 6 feet, I would say. We're probably 6 feet apart.
You're not 6 feet apart. I've been in that booth. You're not 6 feet apart.
You just asked. Yes, we are. We're 6 feet apart.
I thought you were going to do a good job with the description. You did a terrible job.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
6 feet apart.
Yeah, well, that's where we're at. What do you want me to lie? I could lie. Okay, we're literally nose to nose, and we look at it.
I agree.
They did just renovate the booth like a year or two ago, so... Yeah.
Well, Evan was supposed to come up and hang out with us for that Alabama game, but he didn't. Anyways, Evan, I heard your arguments this morning. Who on earth thinks that it's a win for Michigan that Ohio State won a national championship?
It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. It's legitimately one of the dumbest things I have ever heard in my entire life. That on our show this morning, that people were making the argument that it's still a good thing for Michigan because they were the only team that beat Ohio State, and then Ohio State didn't avenge the loss after that. It was crazy to me. I don't understand it. Now, listen, do I think part of it was out of tongue-in-cheek and the Michigan fans trying to deflect on a day where Ohio State won the championship? Yes, I do. I think that rivalry has actually...
It looks like we lost Evan here for a second.
So I literally thought it was me, given the way things have gone for me this morning. We will reconnect with Evan as soon as we can. Tausch, I didn't see this on Unsportsmanlike. Who was arguing that it's good for Michigan?
Canty, I think Schmalman. There's just a lot of Michigan folks, I think. It took them so long to win a national championship. The fact that they've beaten Ohio State so many times, and in all honesty, should have ended Ohio State's season. They didn't win the Big Ten. They didn't have to play in a Big Ten championship game. They got the easiest. Them losing to Michigan actually is what won them the national championship.
I agree with that.
And so you could argue however you want. The bottom line is anybody that is sitting here saying, from a Wisconsin standpoint, if we lost to Minnesota and lost the Axe, but we went and won a national championship, is anybody going to say that Minnesota was in a better spot than Wisconsin that year? Of course not. It is a ludicrous argument, and I can't imagine anyone – actually, maybe Evan is right. Maybe it's just a tongue-in-cheek thing, but nobody in their right mind would look at one of their arch rivals winning a national championship or a Super Bowl championship, but you beat them in a regular season game, and trying to parallelize that would just be insane to me.
Tausch did a great
That's right.
Tausch did a great job of summarizing that for us, Evan, unlike describing the radio booth at Camp Randall.
Well, I don't know where you guys lost me on this or where I lost you on this, but I guess my other point that I don't think was made, so I apologize on that, is like, think about how backwards this thought process would be for the Packers, right? Like, let's just say, oh, yeah, we beat the Bears twice in the regular season, but they won the Super Bowl. Like, you're not happy about that. Or the flip side, if you lost to the Bears twice in the regular season, but you won the Super Bowl, why would you care that you lost to the Bears twice in the regular season if you won the damn Super Bowl? Who cares?
Yeah,
but, Tausch, this is the problem. That rivalry is actually too much, because I think the 12-team playoff has really hurt that rivalry, which I'm happy about, because I think it's too extreme, where the loser of the game isn't definitely eliminated, and in this case, the loser of that game, it was helpful, because it kind of reset the focus, reset the game plan for them to kick butt in the postseason, which they did, obviously.
And they got an easier
I'm not a believer. I don't know how. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not a believer.
They
I
didn't
don't know
have
how
to
you
play
guys
in a
feel about
conference championship game.
it's great.
It tells
It's
me.
great, but,
It tells me there's too many.
Part of this.
It tells me that there's too many teams in the playoff. That's what it tells me. There's too many teams in the playoff. It should be down to 8.
Most
but
people,
Ohio State should have been bounced.
Want more.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Well, it's because most people are super greedy and they're not looking at it from a big picture. Did the college football season go too long, in your opinion?
Yeah, I saw your guy Joel Klatt, who I know you love on Fox, tweet that. And
he's on point with it.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I mean,
That's
the
what I'm
idea of a January 1st, the idea of a January 1st national championship, like that is, I guarantee you, if I talk to my dad today, that is exactly what he will say. Because he wants, like, my dad misses the old school Rose Bowl, deciding it all, 5 o'clock Eastern, on New Year's Day, you're stuffing your face. That's what it's supposed to be. Obviously, yesterday at a Monday night, it's just like a weird thing. It's right in the middle of arguably the biggest week of the NFL season. I think there's an argument to that for sure.
Here's the deal, Evan. They're going to go to 18 games, the NFL. And when that happens, I'm going to ask you to take a full week off in solidarity with the players' safety movement. That will be a conversation for another day. What I want to see
Boy, I can't wait. I'm actually absent that day, so sorry.
No, you'll be on, and I'm going to see where your head's at. But college football needs to finish its season the last regular season week of the NFL season. Saturday night, prime time, that's going to be the national. If it's the 10th of January, if it's the 8th of January, you can't get into finishing after the best weekend of the NFL. People are taking a breath, taking a beat, and it just doesn't make any sense. You want to do this, start it earlier, play over the holidays, and then finish before the NFL's postseason starts. If you want to keep going down this path, here is the formula. There you go. You're welcome.
No, you're welcome. You did nothing that would be positive. No, I'm going to tell you why.
All positive.
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
No, I'm going to tell you what. So, Mark Tauscher's brilliant plan, as always, just ask him, is Saturday night of Week 18 is the national championship. Sunday is Week 18. Monday, all the coaches get fired. Okay, so tell me when the national championship is discussed on any of the major shows on Monday. Because guess what? It's not going to be.
Okay. All right, well, give me a better solution.
Do you think when playoff matches are set and coaches are fired in the moment, like literally, I'll be on the air and Schefter will break that a coach gets fired, and you want me to talk about a game from 2 days prior? Can't happen. So in your Week 18 suggestion, the Week 18 suggestion would be that Monday night, the day after the season ends, not the day before the season ends.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at it from a media perspective. I'm looking at it from entertainment value. Saturday night, all college games, most college games are played on Saturday. You want to have some uniformity there. That's why I picked Saturday night. I'm open to moving it around, but let's be honest. I watched your show today. You guys did minimal coverage of the college football championship. You're talking about Ben Johnson and everything else today. So you're going to do what you're going to do. I'm not going to accommodate y'all.
Ben Johnson was a number one candidate out there, and he was hired by a
So you're proving my point, brother. You're proving my point, brother. That's it. So there's no games. It's the season's been over for 3 weeks, and you're still going to talk NFL. So don't worry about that piece of it. You guys covered Ohio State for a segment and a half. That's what you did. And then it's Ben Johnson, it's Josh Allen, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Stop it. Ridiculous. A segment and a half.
I just stopped it.
Go back in the podcast.
I just stopped it.
Can we just take a moment though and rewind, check the tape? I believe Tausch said that the national champion should not have been in the playoff at all because there's too many teams, and they should have been out because of their loss to Michigan, and they end up being the team that wins the title. How do we feel about that position?
Wait, are you actually saying that? Because,
that's
you
what he
wouldn't
said.
actually keep Ohio State. Right, no, I know, but that's under the current format. He would cut off the teams after a certain number.
Yeah, it'd be 8 teams, and they shouldn't have been in. No,
right,
8
but
teams.
You're going to put Boise State. You're going to put Boise State and Arizona State in over Ohio State.
Yes. Yep.
Indiana, you're going to put in over Ohio State.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? Any
they had one loss
of any loss.
They had one loss
to Ohio State.
That is so stupid.
Yeah, they lost to Ohio State. They also beat Michigan, and Michigan beat Ohio State at their place. Here's the problem, Evan. Here's the problem. College football, and why I fought this for years. College football has always been the most important regular season of any sport. Always. And we lost that, which is fine because we wanted to get this big pay. That's what I'm saying. But you could have still kept a lot of that by the fact that last game of the season, which you could say, well, Ohio State deserved to be in there. They're the better team. They have all this talent. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but they blew a game that they should have. They were 21-point favorites. They lost at home. That should have been the end of their season. Should have went to a nice bowl game. Indiana did lose to Ohio State, but they beat Michigan. Michigan beat them. That's the beauty of it. You got to deliver. You get one. Notre Dame had its one hiccup against Northern Illinois. They still found a way in. They deserved it. You get 2. Unless you win your conference championship, you shouldn't be in a playoff at the end of the year. Period.
Well, but we're talking about two different things.
No, we're not.
Because
we're not, though.
Yes, we are. Because I am one of the very few people on earth that still, if given the choice, would want the BCS system and the top 2 make it to the college football national championship. In that scenario, Ohio State likely would not be in. Period. Next sentence. Under this playoff format, there's no justification to not include Ohio State, even if you only want it to be 8 teams.
I just gave it to you. You have to give conference championships. They're in. That's we've put. That's your division winner, right? So if you're not going to have that, then don't have conferences. You have to let your conference champions in.
The Mark Tauscher college football playoff would be Oregon, Georgia, Boise
Texas,
State, and Arizona State.
Those would be the front
Guess
four.
what?
Yep.
You can
Texas,
put that
Indiana,
any day
Notre
of the year.
Dame.
We're not watching.
Well, I don't know how many people watched last night.
That's rough. I would guess a lot. Ohio State, Notre Dame. I'm going to guess some people may have tuned in.
I don't know.
I'm guessing it's going to be a pretty good number.
Word. What the hell is going on with the school? What are we doing with this Miami thing? What are we doing with this Miami?
Did you just say word?
What are we doing?
He did. Word.
You said word, right? I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
No,
word.
I said what? I said Tausch won't say a word. But what the hell is going on with UW-Madison? What are we doing with this Miami thing?
I'll say all I want to say on it. Here's the deal. If you're going to commit to something and you're going to say, I'm going to do this, you sign something, that should be good. Now, you can blame Xavier, you can blame Wisconsin, all of that's going to get hashed out. The bottom line is you have no governing body doing anything, and it is showing, the transfer portal's not real. None of this is real. This is all a simulation. So what do you want Wisconsin to do? You made a commitment. You've done this. You just want to say, so Evan, can you just say, I'm going to go over to a competitor because they're going to pay me more? Well, no, you signed a contract. You did this, and you'd be a complete you-know-what if you're going to go do that. And, it's not going to be legal. So they're trying to find where is the ground on this? Where is the ground?
Right.
Where is it?
What I'm saying is not that Wisconsin doesn't have a leg to stand on in this situation. What I'm basically saying is we are voluntarily making ourselves look worse than we need to.
We're trailblazing. No, we are trailblazing.
Well, okay.
We're not making ourselves look bad.
But, all right. But inevitably what happens is everyone then starts to ask questions about every transfer that we get. Did we talk to them before they went into the NIL? Did we do this? Did we do that? We don't need all the eyes and ears on us. We don't need that. Not in this regard. That's what I'm saying.
So just let people walk all over you.
Showed up on campus. No, I'm not suggesting
let people walk all over you. Okay, great. That's what you want to do. I couldn't be more on board with this. Well, that is what you just said.
All right. Tausch, will this help us or hurt us moving forward in getting players?
I don't know. It's not going to hurt us.
Okay.
It's not going to hurt us.
Why? Because we don't get enough anyway?
Well, if you're going to put resources in and do all this stuff and then just let people do whatever the hell they want when they made commitments, again, I don't know all the nuts and bolts of this, so I'm just going off of what I've read.
I'm not saying.
I'm just going off of what I read. If you are counting on and have
point is right.
I want you to stand for what you believe in and what you think is right to try to get some kind of precedent put in place so that we all know what the hell's going on. Because right now, nobody does. Nobody. And the fact that the Big Ten is fully behind us makes me feel a heck of a lot better than if we're some rogue institution fighting with Darren Heitner. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and listen, on the whole, I understand what you're saying because I agree with you, right? Like, I think if we're going to properly allow transferring NIL, in essence, free agency, the thing that I think that we lose sight of is the NFL and NBA and NHL and Major League Baseball have rules and regulations around free agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not no longer talking about this player specifically or Wisconsin or Miami, but in general, when everyone says I'm a big proponent of allowing the transfer portal and NIL, so am I. Look, and then the follow-up is because look at what they do in the pros. And these guys are pros. Okay, great. What they don't allow people to do is, let's just use the basketball team I root for. Jimmy Butler would rather play for another team than the Miami Heat. He can't just go to the Suns because he feels like it. There are rules behind that. Now, when his contract is up and he hits free agency, he can go to whatever team he'd like that would pay him whatever it is that they're able to pay him. So in essence, I am in agreement. Rules within the allowance of transferring and making as much money as possible still need to happen. I just hate any time anyone takes any shots at the University of Wisconsin, and I feel like there's a lot of people doing that right now. That's it.
Yeah, but we're fighting back. It's fine. Everybody gets punched in the face. What are you going to do? Cower? Or are you going to fight back? I don't know. Maybe you'll cower. I don't want to be cowering. I want to fight back.
I think it depends on who I'm punched in the face by.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Jesse punches me in the face, I think I could fight back. If, Nancy punches me in the face, I think I'll die.
Okay. Evan, before you go, who would be, since we've overtaken the SEC, the Big Ten is king, who would be the Wisconsin equivalent in the SEC?
Arkansas?
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Am I wrong? I mean, Bielema kind of answered that question for us, didn't we? Didn't he?
Oh, boy.
What am I missing?
Guess who said Arkansas at the start of the show, Evan?
Jason?
Yeah.
Tough to
What did you say, Tausch?
That is tough. I said
He
Tennessee.
said Tennessee, who was in the national championship bracket.
Tausch?
No, I just said
Tausch?
Tennessee, yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Tausch, that is not.
Yes.
That's not right. I will also say this.
It's not.
Tennessee,
Just wait a second. Evan, hold up
Tennessee,
a second. Hold up.
Okay. All
Hold
right.
on.
This will be fun.
Tennessee, we have to look at this big
Tennessee.
picture. I can't look at it from a one-year snapshot. Okay? I'm not going to do that. I'm looking at a big picture. Who has been great in women's hoops? Tennessee. Who has been great in women's hockey?
That's
Winning
not
national.
what you meant.
Hold up. Let me finish. Who has done that? Wisconsin. Tennessee. Very similar. Tennessee has one national championship. We have back-to-back Rose Bowls, which in those days, while they're not national championships, very close. Same era. College town-wise, very similar. We have good basketball programs. You start looking at this thing big picture.
Are we talking
Arkansas,
about all sports
no
or just
offense.
football?
I'm talking the whole thing, not just football. You're encompassing everything. Football is obviously a big component. And I would argue that our football has been more consistent than Tennessee's over the last 25 years. That's why I could put it there and feel all right about it, where you guys are poo-pooing it like it's absurd.
Well, I would say that Arkansas, if we're looking at all sports, I can't go as high as Arkansas, unfortunately.
But that's not what we were doing here. We were doing football.
Yeah, because now,
come on.
Yeah, now I'm kind of bummed. And I'm wondering, are we actually, South Carolina wins the women's basketball. But if we're just doing football, I would say Arkansas. All sports, I have to go lower, even though we're really good in all sports. Because Arkansas,
Are you serious? Hey, hold up.
I mean,
do you
look at
understand we have like
basketball.
8? Hold up a second. You understand we just won a national championship for a top 5 volleyball program in the country. You understand that we have the best women's hockey program in the country, and our basketball team is consistently right where it should be. And you're telling me it's too low? That we're not even Arkansas?
I want to understand something. When you came up with this angle on this topic, hold on, Tausch. When you came up with this angle on this topic, your goal was to bring up women's hockey. Or was it
it's a part of the process, yes. Evan, do you highlight positives or do you highlight negatives? Hold up.
No, hold on. I'm not downgrading women's hockey. What I'm saying is I understood the question to be a straight up. No, you asked the question based on the Big Ten winning the last 2 national championships. They won the last 2 national championships in football. So I understood it to be a football conversation, not other sports.
It's an overarching thing.
Is low. To our credit, football is low on the totem pole of our success in sports at the University of Wisconsin.
I don't think that's what we want to hear, but all right.
You asked the question, and then you changed it.
I looked at it big picture. I looked at big picture. You didn't. That's fine.
No, you didn't.
No. Now you just shot yourself in the foot. Let's be honest about this. Right now, how many sports programs, men's and women's, at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where all 3 of us went to school, are definitively better as it compares to their peers than football? Women's hockey for sure, Women's volleyball, for sure. Men's basketball over the last 10, 15, 20 years? Probably.
Definitely last 10
Right?
years, yep. Yeah.
Okay. You guys
I
would
think
know more
our
than I would on the
cross-country
rest.
program's pretty strong, too.
Indoor track's in a tough spot right now with no facility. Evan, look, here's what happened. We did this. Tausch said Tennessee. Yeah, Tausch said Tennessee. Jesse and I got after him because Tennessee was in the college football playoff. The landscape of college football, as we all were discussing, the fact that Ohio State is able to pay its players triple what Wisconsin is paying its. Theoretically, we don't know the numbers for sure. The fact there's no salary cap, there's no structure. Guys transfer to other schools without even entering the portal. All this, there's no way you could say Wisconsin is Tennessee right now. So then Tausch, who's already mad that Ohio State won the national title, is now mad that Jesse and I got after him for putting the Badger parallel to the SEC a little bit too high. And then he decided to bring in the other sports. So that is what occurred here.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom line is there's a lot wrong with college football, and I hope somebody smart fixes it, because whether it's the situation with Miami, whether it's Ohio State, whatever it might be, you made the point while we were having this conversation about the NFL, and or Jimmy Butler can't just say, I'm leaving the Heat. I'm just enrolling with the Phoenix Suns. This has to get fixed. And it sucks because last night I didn't have a lot of I'm sure there were a lot of people who watched the game. Once I saw Ohio State was up 31-7, I did not want to watch Ohio State being coronated as the champion. Didn't have any interest in that.
Well, can I poke one hole, Jason? It's just a semantics thing. From my perspective, I don't think it has to get fixed. I think it has to evolve and be altered, because I still think in terms of the players getting compensated and the way in which they're treated as professionals and able to trade in on their value is better than it was previously.
Sure.
Because it's public. It's not like it wasn't happening previously. We all know it was.
Correct.
It's just allowed to happen publicly now. Right? And let me say one other thing. You brought up the funding around Ohio State versus us with Wisconsin. I am sick and tired of people blaming Russell Wilson and J.J. Watt. It's not their responsibility because they're rich to fund the Wisconsin football program.
I didn't know
if they
people
want
were doing
to,
that.
Great. Oh, Tausch does it all the time behind closed doors. But, I wouldn't say that on the air. But, there's a lot of people that have brought up those guys, and I don't think that's fair.
Wow. Yeah, I just want structure. I am with you. I am pro players being compensated for their work and how they're doing it. I'm just saying the NFL has a salary cap. The NFL has a free agency window, as opposed to, say, the Penn State backup quarterback entering the portal while his team is playing in the tournament to crown a national champion. These are all things. I don't think that's an evolution. I think that stuff needs to be fixed. That's
just putting the dates. That's just putting the regulations around it and the dates and the free agency window, et cetera. I agree with you on that part of it. One other, I know I said final thing 23 times. Tausch, specifically for you, and I'm being serious on this.
Yeah. Okay.
Who would be the person? Oh no, I'm serious. Who would be the person at the University of Wisconsin if they were to be hired by the football program, and that would be their sole exclusive job in life, would raise the most amount of funds to support the program? Is it like if J.J. Watt was the defensive? No, I'm serious. If J.J. Watt was the defensive coordinator, if Russell Wilson was the quarterbacks coach, if Joe Thomas was the line coach, or you were the line coach, is there someone, Ron Dane, running backs coach, that would all of a sudden raise the most amount of money if that was the only thing in life that they did for a living, and they just abandoned everything else that they were doing in their own personal lives? Is there somebody that is the turning point kind of person to all of this?
It's a great question, and I don't think there's one singular person that jumps out at me that I would say, yep, that will that will do it. So unfortunately, there isn't some magic pill. There has, because you know what? Even if there was, somebody else at another school would be able to do that to the nth degree, and you're always going to be chasing it, and that's the problem that we have.
That's fair. See, I told you I was going to ask you a serious question.
Nailed it.
That was really serious.
Thanks,
serious.
Evan.
Thanks, guys.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike Tausch.
I don't know what we accomplished. Right there, if I'm being honest with you.
I thought that was a spirited discussion. I think you moved the goalposts on the Tennessee.
You guys have changed. No, I said from the jump which program. I didn't say which football school. I didn't say that. I also didn't say.
Oh, it didn't mean football program.
Right now, you don't have to worry about Blue Mountains. You don't have to worry about it. Put it outside for 3 seconds. Your whole can will be blue because it is absolutely freezing out. Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold package, so it's made to chill. And the mountains are going to be blue today, whether you want them or not. They're going to be blue because they're going to be incredibly chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
More Wilde And Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
On the air. Wilde And Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Even when you think you know what's going on.
Craig, you don't pay us to be cheerleaders. There's plenty of other shows that do that, okay? You know what you pay us to do? Be right.
You can never be too sure.
Chewy, buddy, hold back. I was with you, and then you went a little too far.
Drop that.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
I pay you all to entertain, which you do all the time, and you do a fantastic job.
Did you? Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Menards is the one-stop shop for huge savings on new energy-efficient appliances. Upgrade your home today and save big on top appliance brands including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion. We carry the largest in-stock selection of home appliances starting at the lowest prices and ready to take home today. Check out our entire selection of home appliances on Menards.com. Plus, view the weekly flyer for many other great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Experience the timeless charm of the Knickerbocker on the Lake, Milwaukee's premier boutique hotel. With its stunning architecture and modern comforts, every detail tells a story. Whether it's a romantic getaway, a business trip, or simply a night away, you'll find elegance, history, and a warm welcome waiting for you. The Knickerbocker on the Lake, where every moment feels like a chapter from the past, written just for you. Visit knickerbockeronthelake.com to book your stay today. An unforgettable getaway awaits.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a two-man scramble at Pebble Beach, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through January 31st. Your winter chance to play Pebble Beach awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Thanks to Evan Cohen. Always fun when he and Tausch have their spirited back and forths. Jesse, are we getting more help from the carbless talk and text line or the YouTube dwellers on our comparisons between the SEC and the Big Ten?
Yes, the carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Less is more. Looks like John in Stoughton says Wisconsin is the Missouri of the Big Ten. I don't know.
John Anderson's alma mater.
Well, maybe. Also seeing South Carolina might be the best comp. Dawn Staley equals Mark Johnson.
Okay.
So if you want to go across
really
athletic
allowing
departments,
Tausch to change this again now and make it about the entire athletic department?
This is not changed. That was my intention from the jump.
Go Vols. All right. Well, look,
he is right about Knoxville and Madison. If you're going to go city-wise, campus-wise, like, that's the best comp SEC to Big Ten. I'll give him that.
I literally text, you know what, just so everybody can fact check this. I didn't say anything about football on this text. I said, since the Big Ten is now the new SEC, who is Wisconsin? I didn't say anything about football only. I said the whole deal.
You did not say the whole deal either. You just said Wisconsin. It was during the college football playoff. The football part was assumed.
You watching Colgate men's basketball say, Wisconsin is the SEC in the new SEC now. Yeah.
Is Colgate in the SEC?
No, never.
Okay,
Dave in Verona says Wisconsin is Texas A&M, which I have actually said for a handful of years. If you're we've played this game drawing the comps across conferences. I think Wisconsin and Texas A&M are actually the most similar if you're going across the board, but especially emphasizing football, looking at different conferences. Always in the mix, never winning the big one.
Yes, I know. I take it back. Tausch was definitely thinking about Pat Summitt and all of the Volunteers' great history in women's basketball when he posted that text to us. Yes, I believe you wholeheartedly, 100%.
Good.
How's their baseball team? How's their softball program?
Tennessee's baseball is really
track
good.
Program?
I don't know about their track, but I know hockey would compare really favorably with their women's hoops history.
Yep. And their baseball is probably our volleyball.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually, and the cities are both on water. You know, we have the isthmus. They got the big old river down there. It's beautiful.
Big old river.
Like the fit is, they're very similar.
And Ron Dane is our Peyton Manning?
Yeah,
Oh,
you could make that argument. Sure.
I'm not.
We have a Heisman. He didn't, so that would be the only difference.
We will kick off the 10 o'clock hour very late. Want to remind you, I was just listening. Gruberlofs is also a presenter of the Thanalysis podcast. Gruberlofs is everywhere, man. I saw David when we were driving up on a billboard on our way to Eau Claire for the girls' gymnastics meet this weekend. He is everywhere. They are everywhere. Gruberlofs is, but still, it's all one call. That's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Go to the website, gruber-law.com. Find out more about the firm, its history, all the things they do in our communities. Gruber offices, one call. That's all. The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. We have some restoration of internet. I'm weighing now the risk of trying to go back to doing the show normally and then having it go out on us. I'm very nervous. Very, very, very nervous, Tausch, because I do want to get to the NFL. That was a wonderful first hour. You and Evan going back and forth, us discussing the drawbacks of the college football landscape, you comparing University of Wisconsin women's hockey with University of Tennessee women's basketball, which was clearly your intent from the beginning. But a lot of things happened in the NFL. Plus, yes.
No, I'm amazed that you don't think that's how my mind works. That you've been doing the show with me for 9 years and you don't know that. But continue. I'm not going to relitigate this. Tennessee is the correct answer. Next.
Oh.
Okay.
I didn't know it was the correct answer.
Well, I do
declare.
From my perspective, but I'm going to say this. The fact that you, Evan, and Jesse, all without a blink, said Arkansas and then started backtracking, thinking Arkansas was too good, it makes me incredibly sad that that's how you guys view Wisconsin. I digress. What also made me sad was not that Detroit got trucked. I made me happy that Jesse was going to be feeling bad on Monday or Sunday or whatever day it was, that the Lions, his beloved Lions, got knocked out of the playoffs. But what was concerning to me was how easy Washington made it look and how we couldn't do that. And I don't know what that means, but I know this. Washington and what they've been able to do with Jaden Daniels, that's not going anywhere either. And when you give these opportunities, this is what Green Bay was last year, but they finished the deal, we didn't. And if you remember last year, I was so distraught, and you're like, oh, shucks, it was a great season. It's supposed to be a rebuild. Washington is in a great position to go to a blanking Super Bowl. We were in a great position to go to a blanking Super Bowl last year. They didn't finish. We didn't finish the job. Washington did. Almost the exact same scenario. Young quarterback, getting hot, playing good football. Jaden Daniels finished the deal. We didn't. And now you don't know how those windows continue. I think Detroit's window is definitely closing at a rapid pace. They're going to lose both their coordinators. Watching what Washington did, even though it was to beat a team that I thought deserved to, Detroit had a great season. Washington doing that makes me even more remorseful about what happened last year. That was what happened to me over the weekend. That's how I felt watching those games.
So I obviously was traveling on Friday. I briefly got to talk to you and Joe Thomas. Did you guys play the question and answer from Goody on Thursday about the urgency and the idea? So for me, what you're talking about, you and Goody, as you often are on the same page, right? That these opportunities don't come around and you can't squander them.
You only get one shot every year. That opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
And the idea that
you better lose yourself in that moment. You want it.
Mom spaghetti.
You better never let it go. Mom spaghetti. No, Jason, that's exactly right. And I wasn't even thinking of Goody's comments when I was kind of just going. We all get so caught up in regular season, and it is important. Obviously, this number one seed, if you're not the Kansas City Chiefs, it's almost looking like it's a detriment because you play tight because you feel it. Detroit played tight. They were uncharacteristic. They played their worst game of the season. And it was because they got out of their game plan and got out of it. And what I thought was going to happen earlier happened in the postseason. Their defense just didn't have it. They did not have enough to get after the quarterback. They continued to lose guys. It just wasn't going to happen. And when you get put in that position where you're all in on one side of the ball, we saw this movie with the Green Bay Packers and the Giants in 11. It's the same thing. You feel like you got to be perfect, and when you make a mistake, you tighten up and you push, and you make more mistakes, and the next thing you know, you're chasing your tail and you're walking home and you're going to Cancun the next day. That's what happened. I don't know how else to specify this, but Detroit was vulnerable. Green Bay had that look up in Detroit, and if you win that game, I think it's a whole different vibe. The team never recovered from that, and then limped in, and had they found a way to beat Philly, which they had ample opportunity, I do believe they would be going to Washington, or they would be going to Washington this weekend. That's what I think.
Well, and so I want to get into that as well, because there was obviously the news from the NFL that, as discussed on this program and on social media channels, where there were I'm fascinated at your guy Elon's algorithm that somehow my tweet about potentially being a helmet-to-helmet hit in real time when the opening kickoff occurred 8 days ago in Philadelphia, that ends up in people's timelines, and I get all these Philly fans getting after me and calling me different names and what have you. The NFL said that they fined Oren Burks for that hit, that it should have been a penalty. So that means that the Packers don't lose the ball on the opening kickoff. It nullifies that fumble, and the Packers have the ball. Now, do they go 3 and out offensively? Maybe. But I'm curious as to where people view where this team would have been if that one call doesn't go their way to start the game. I'd be curious about that. I want to get into that. I also want to get into your look, again, we love to give you a hard time. And there are times where you say things where I'm like, I can't believe he said that. And then I stop myself and go, that's actually a really good point. This Tennessee one is the rare time where I just don't believe you. But otherwise, I usually come around.
Oh, you don't believe me, or you think it's a ridiculous comparison?
No, I believe that you changed horses in midstream because we were getting after you. Yeah, okay. I know.
And I would admit to you if I did. I didn't. My horse is still swimming. There's no stream pushing it the other way.
In that river right next to the Volunteers Stadium.
Yes, in Knoxville.
Great sailgating opportunities down there.
The bottom line is that I want to know if after this weekend's games, Packers fans feel better, worse, or it doesn't matter. The season's over. Nothing is going to change how you felt. Right. I want to get into that coming up because that's what I'm curious about. Because against all odds, everything goes wrong, and they turn the ball over 4 times, including on the opening kickoff, and it's still 16-10 in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. And I find myself wondering just what might have been if a few things went differently. And I'm not usually that guy. So I want to get into that coming up. Tausch, tell us about Kohler Services before we move forward.
I will. And if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, what the heck are you doing? It's a new year, new bathroom, new shower. Time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel with no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
I want to get into that. I also do want to talk about, Tausch just mentioned it. It looks like Aaron Glenn is going to get the Jets job. Ben Johnson is already the Bears coach. The mountain, it's hard to climb back up. And I am curious as to how he views the Lions and what their motivation will be. They will not have we lost the Super Bowl hangover, and now we're at the bottom of Mount Everest now. I want to get into that as well. That's all still ahead. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The Homer Hour, with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
You still had a cigarette lighter in there?
No, we should all be dead.
An ashtray.
They have the station wagons where the people in the back were facing the other direction.
The Homer Hour with Homer.
The Packers got more money than God, so there's in the NFL there's no shortage. Yes, we need fundamentally in the NFL, anything Detroit does, you just assume you can do it better.
Weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Kevin Moret for Mentality. Guys, most new clients start with just 1/3 the free testosterone they need, and that puts you at an unfair disadvantage. No matter how hard you push yourself, it's an uphill battle. Free testosterone drives everything, your energy, strength, and metabolism, and without it, nothing works. At Mentality, our doctors restore that balance so your body works the way it should. Energy comes back, fat burns off, and you feel like yourself again. Make this year different. Visit mentalityhealth.com/radio for a special New Year offer. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio. them.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
The new year is here, and we all know it's the perfect time to hit the reset button. Let's be real, guys. Feeling confident in how you look and feel isn't just for women. That's where Quintessa Aesthetic Center comes in. From now through March 31st, Quintessa is offering exclusive packages to help you start 2025 as a more confident you. Whether it's weight loss plans or even IV therapy, Quintessa has personalized options backed by medical experts to help you look and feel your absolute best. Visit myquintessa.com to learn more. Make 2025 the year you feel confident inside and out.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
You're listening to Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The question, I'm putting the poll in the field now. With what happened in the NFC playoffs over the weekend, do you feel better, worse, or the same about the Packers playoff exit? And you answered right away before I even posted it, and you said you feel worse. Why?
I feel worse because this year was ripe for the taking. I think everybody just assumed that the Detroit Lions, it was going to be inevitable after they beat Minnesota and got that 1 seed. I obviously didn't feel that way. And it wasn't because I didn't think Detroit's a good team. I just thought their defense against a good offense was going to struggle. And we saw that. We saw Washington execute a really good plan where you forced Jared Goff forcing him into being a big boy quarterback where he couldn't just play action pass and take the easy throws. He forced stuff, and they beat the heck out of him. So this Packers team was good enough to win a Super Bowl. And I know Packer fans are going to say, you're a homer, you're crazy, you're a homer, blah, 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 blah. This is the NFL. You get in the right frame of mind, and you find a way to win one game Anybody think Washington was going to be in the NFC Championship game? I didn't.
I didn't.
They found a way to win a game, and then you start getting belief, and some of it can just be crazy belief. But it doesn't matter. And you catch lightning in a bottle, and you're like, let's go. And you pull off this upset. Philadelphia is flawed. Every team is flawed. Let's just, for the record, every team is. You have all of these opportunities to beat a team when you didn't play your best. And if you could have, the championship window was right there. But it wasn't. And I'm not saying this team was good enough to win it, but I'm definitely saying that with the way the rest of this conference is, had Green Bay played its best football, there was an opportunity there. And I felt like it was squandered, but it was squandered because we didn't make the improvements that we normally do on offense. Defensively, we were good enough to win a championship this year. Offensively, we weren't. When's the last time a Packer team could say that?
I'm not
Never.
sure. 2009, maybe, when the defense played really well and it took a while for the offense to get going.
You mean when we scored 45 and got beat in the playoffs?
Right. But throughout that season, you guys, there was a game. You guys beat the Jets. I don't know if you were back on the team or not in that season yet, but they shut out the Jets. Like the defense
that was the
carried
Super Bowl
that team
season.
during the first.
That was the Super Bowl season.
2010. Okay.
Yeah. So I just think, and I think the questions now, it's going to be more offensive than defensive. I think we feel so much better, but the problem is there is no reset. This is going to be a whole new team. This book is done. It's on to the next. And when you close a book and you finish it, you want to feel like you had everything there that you could have done, and I don't feel like Green Bay did. And I feel worse last year now than I do this year, though, because we weren't good enough this year. Last year we were. This year, I just don't think the NFC is strong. I think it is weak, and I think whoever ends up going to the Super Bowl is going to get beat. I think the AFC is a lot better. This was a year that everything kind of fell into place, and Green Bay wasn't good enough or didn't take enough steps to take advantage of a conference. And now, all of a sudden, you have to look at Washington with what Jaden Daniels is doing and saying, oh, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem moving forward. Minnesota, they're a problem moving forward. Whatever else, and that's the challenge. And that's why you have to have that urgency, because as Goody knows better than anybody, you're not guaranteed anything. You're not guaranteed to be back in the playoffs. And when you get that opportunity, take advantage. This year we did not, and we didn't because we didn't make the improvements that we normally make. And had we done that and played as we did at the end of last season, it's a whole different animal. But that's not what happened, and we have to live with that.
All right, I want to get to Jeff in Milwaukee's call. I want to bounce this off of you first, though, and then we can get into it a little bit later. So the one game over the weekend that I didn't see any of because we were driving back from Eau Claire was the Chiefs' win over the Houston Texans, right? But if I look at all these games, Houston certainly was guilty of it. The Lions, with all their turnovers, and Jared Goff turning into the guy that you told us he would be if you pressured him. The Baltimore Ravens, right, with 2 turnovers by the presumptive NFL MVP, or one of the 2 finalists anyway, and the mistakes that Mark Andrews made. You look at all of those teams, and they would probably walk out of those games going, we beat ourselves. And I feel like the Packers, we heard that from Jordan Love repeatedly, Keyshawn Nixon. There were multiple players that would talk about that. And their argument was, all the games we lost, we don't really feel like the opponent beat us. We feel like we beat ourselves. Isn't that the one thing that Kansas City doesn't do? Like, they weren't super impressive in their win. But isn't that what defines just how good you are? Is that you don't beat yourself.
That's part of the growing up process. And we saw that with Kansas City, as you mentioned. we also saw that with Philadelphia the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that with what Buffalo did. Baltimore's a better team. Baltimore's a much better team than Buffalo. They're more explosive. They're just better. But you get out of sorts. Playoffs make you do crazy things. You make a couple of mistakes and things can spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Why did the New England Patriots win so many championships? Were they just star-spangled awesome every year? The years they were the best, you'd argue they didn't even win.
Right.
They won because they made you beat them, and you typically don't. You typically will make 1 or 2 critical mistakes at critical points, and that's playoff football. That's what we've seen this year. We see it every year. And I think Green Bay, we played better at the end of the season. We did that, but whenever we played the big boy games, we got out of sorts. The other team didn't. And that's why we couldn't find our way over the hump. You have to learn and earn that. And that's why I'm not discouraged that they're not there yet. I just feel like there were opportunities that were lost. And if you use those to learn and to grow, you're going to benefit from that down the road. But it's a hard lesson to learn. And when you watch teams hand stuff over like the Rams just did, and like the Detroit Lions did, and like the Baltimore Ravens did, you just see how fragile playoff football is. And it does make you think, boy, we're right there. But when you say that, you realize it's not that easy as just doing it. You have to grind to such a tough degree just to get in that position to not screw up. That's a hard mentality to have.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I am the internet here at Casa de Wilde has held. So I'm going to go down into our radio studio and hope, knock on wood, that it stays this way so I can be a little less out of sorts. But we're getting calls on this. And I had an inkling as this was formulating in my brain watching Sydney play volleyball yesterday or Sunday, that this was going to be something that would resonate with people. So the poll is in the field. Again, the question is, with what happened in the NFC playoffs over the weekend, do you feel better, worse, or the same about the Packers' playoff exit? Now, the same is leading the balloting still by a healthy margin. And I'm not saying that that's not the right answer. But the Packers were who we thought they were. But the idea that a bunch of teams really beat themselves in the playoffs in the NFC over the last several weeks makes me wonder how that impacts your mentality. And Denver Dan had a text momentarily. We'll get to back to that, and we'll get to your calls. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless talk and text line. Less is more. Join the conversation there. I can even get in with the dwellers now on YouTube. Again, I hope this holds up. Tausch, I don't know how much Prize Pick dabbling you did. You did mention that was one of the reasons you watched the national championship game.
Yeah.
I know you weren't rooting for Ohio State, but I hope you at least won on Prize Picks because of it.
I did. I had a great night. We had that Will Howard quarterback, very doable square of 0.5 passing yards. He blew through that. Jeremiah Smith, who is a stud and should be allowed to go to the NFL yesterday, and I'd love to see him on Green Bay. 0.5 rush or receiving touchdowns. No big deal. A dub for OT. Egbuka, 62.5. That one was a little sweat. Had a little sweat on that one. Ended up with 64, so another dub there. And then I had to go with a Notre Dame running back, Williams. I had no idea who he was.
Last name Williams.
1.5 receptions. Went less on him. And a good win on Prize Picks for Old T last night. And I think there's some more fun stuff coming up with you got the big game coming, but you also have Jaden Daniels, 0.5 on Sunday. So you got another square that you have to play with because Prize Picks is fun. It is the #1 daily fantasy sports app, and it is playoff time. Get in there. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds. And you know what? I've had all these sports opinions. The Lions are going to, fold their defense. Everybody had some wins on Saturday because of that. Turn your sports opinions into real money. Download the app today. Use that code WI. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app. Use code WI, and you get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run.
Your
game. All right, let's get to your calls next. 844-770-3776. Your text as well on the Carbless Talk and Text line. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Join the Bucks and tip off Black History Month with the team's Black Excellence Game, presented by Hennessy on Sunday, February 2nd. Celebrate the next generation of Black leaders through storytelling, performances, and more. Enjoy incredible on-court action when the team faces off against Memphis, while we shine a spotlight on Black excellence in our community. Visit bucks.com/impact for details and to secure your tickets. That's bucks.com/impact.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. And it is playoff time, now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Prize Picks, the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money. Download the app today. Use code WI. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. end the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wow, it's like being back home again. Down in our Wilde family basement studios, the internet hopefully continues to work. Still looking at that smiling face of Tausch from the sideline in his playing days. Let's get to your calls. 844-770-3776. Again, as I watch some, not all, but some, most of the NFL playoffs, including the NFC, which Philadelphia-Washington is your NFC championship game. And as Tausch said, if Philadelphia wins that one, the winner of Packers-Eagles will be in the Super Bowl.
How's Jesse doing? We haven't even asked him. Is he all right with a devastating loss to his second favorite team?
I put out an official statement on Saturday night to remind fans of fans of Wilde and Tausch. I am not actually a Lions fan, and I am just fine. Thank you for checking.
Were you getting a lot of concerned messages?
Several tweets during the third and fourth quarter of the line. Hey, Jesse, how you doing? You feeling okay up there? So I felt the need, and clearly there was some response after I shared the note with everyone that, yes, I am doing just fine. Not disappointed that the Lions lost. I feel kind of bad for some of the fans, but the Commanders are a really fun story, too. So it would have been nice, I think, for the Lions to reach the Super Bowl, but now that the coordinators are leaving town, that was the main reason that I was concerned about them not reaching, and it looks like they're moving on anyway. So you guys were right, I was wrong. Let's move on.
All right, let's get to your calls. 844-770-3776. Let's go to Jeff in Milwaukee. Jeff, thanks for holding on. What do you got for us?
Hey, guys. A couple things. I just want to start off. This is probably one of the last shows around the football of the year. I want to thank you guys. It was a great year, and your show is amazing. So thanks for having it every week. It's really, really great. So a couple things I thought. First of all, I feel like Tausch does. I feel worse after watching the games, and I'll elaborate on that in a second. I think Brady made two really interesting points about winning these big games. He said, Belichick said, if you want to learn to win these big games, the first thing you have to learn is not to lose them. And I think that's kind of what you guys were saying about all the turnovers. I mean, the Packers just played lousy. It's not like Philadelphia beat them. They just played poorly. So there's a difference. And then he also pointed out, he goes, in terms of teammates in these games, I'd rather have champions than superstars. And in terms of people with a lot of numbers, and you think back to Tausch to 2010, it was so obvious how great Rodgers played, but they don't go to the Super Bowl or win that Super Bowl without Greg Jennings. He was just on a tear, and he just stepped up in the biggest way in those games. So my concern really is, and I'm not doing this out of convenience. You guys know I called after the Saints game. After they won, I said my biggest concern going into big games, and it still is Matt LaFleur. And the reason why I'm concerned after watching these games, if you look at D'Amico Ryans, Dan Quinn, Dan Campbell, the teams follow the personality of their coach, especially in the biggest moments. And I think LaFleur is a really good coach. I think he's a grinder. I think he's solid. But I think he is also very nervous and very on edge. And I don't think that instills confidence in his players, where these other guys, their personality is something that the players can lean on, and it sets a tone of this is who we are. I mean, Tausch, when you guys won in 2010, remember the what I'm getting at is team identity, which changes from year to year. But what was the identity? We're nobody's underdog, right? That's what you guys felt, and that's what you guys lived on. I just don't feel the entire year. I felt like the Packers never found their identity, and I think it's one of the things LaFleur needs to learn as a leader and as a coach is he has got to be a source of confidence, not a source of anxiety and a source of worry. And I like both of your thoughts on that, and that's kind of how I feel. And thanks again for a great show. It was really, really great being able to call in this year. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeff. We appreciate the call. All right, I'm torn on this.
We are on year-round, by the way, just so Jeff and everyone else knows.
It's a good point. And there are some really great qualities of doing the show in the off-season that make this show very entertaining.
Our May shows are amazing.
I think Tausch loves the off-season even more.
I do.
Tausch, look, if we're being honest, though, it wasn't that long ago that we were looking at NFL coaches, to Jeff's argument, on the flip side, and being smart and innovative was way more important than anything else, right? Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur, Cincinnati was Zach Taylor, right? Like, that was what everyone was looking for. And Jeff has voiced his concerns frequently about Matt LaFleur as a leader of men. So he definitely has a strong feeling about Matt LaFleur's shortcomings. Do I think...
What are his shortcomings, according to you, Jason?
Well, let me say this. I actually think that one of the shortcomings has surfaced recently, and it was something that you got some attention for saying, but it's true. Like, it's almost like he's gotten more nervous or tighter or more emotional in these big games, where before he was very much, some might say, like Romeo Dobbs, even keeled, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if that's starting to feel the pressure of, hey, we've won a lot of games, but we haven't gotten to a Super Bowl. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it was, hey, I don't have to be nervous because in the end, I've got one of the GOATs in NFL history, Aaron Rodgers, at quarterback, and while he's a pain in the ass to deal with during the week, I know during the game, more often than not, he's going to come through, so I don't need to be nervous. I don't know what that is, but if Jeff's going to critique LaFleur in terms of how he handles things and how he behaves on the sideline, etc., maybe that's part of it, is that it's different now with a Jordan Love at quarterback than it is with a Hall of Famer at quarterback. But the biggest shortcoming to me is that he did a great job of altering his run game to fit a different style of back, and he never figured out how to get the play-action game to work. You look at Jaden Daniels, one of the things that works really well for him is play-action. You look at the success that the Lions had, one of the things that allowed them to have success when Jared Goff wasn't under pressure and turning the ball over was how good their play-action game was. So he never got that solution worked out. And then the emotional or the unevenness would be the other thing that I would look at him and say, that's something that he needs to improve on in the offseason. Do you think that's fair?
It is. There's a couple of things, and obviously I was very critical of Matt and his emotional challenges and some of the other stuff that happens. And I get it, man. It is an intense atmosphere, especially as you're starting to figure out playoff seeding and everything else. You're going to be wound a little tighter, and you haven't been there. It's easy. I'm watching the Chiefs-Texans game. It's something, I don't know, the Chiefs didn't get a ton of calls that went against them, but there are a few things that bounced the wrong way. And the camera panned over to Andy Reid. And I couldn't tell if he was pissed or if he was excited. I couldn't. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, is what I'm looking for. And not every time. There's times when you're going to blow a gasket. I don't have any problem with that. But there is that calmness that you need to have in certain things, and challenges is one for sure, because it's vital to have timeouts and to not blow things when you're just mad because you didn't think something went your way. That is what I've been critical of Matt LaFleur about. I have been very complimentary of his scheme, what he's been able to do, but there's room to grow for him. And part of it is he's still a young dude. He's younger than I am. There's a long way to go yet, but it doesn't matter. You have to go. You have to grow, and you have to do it in an expedited fashion. And hopefully you learn those lessons and don't just say, well, this is how I do things. That's the piece to this, and I think Jeff has got some valid arguments when it comes to how coaches roll and how they go about their business. When playoffs come, everybody's tighter. It's important to have a calming influence where you are not going to let – you want – coaches preach. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up. Handle adversity. You got to do that too. You set the tone for that, and I think that is something I hope Matt LaFleur gets better as his coaching career in Green Bay continues.
All right, I want to get to more calls, and I want to take more calls. So we've got a few lines open, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless talk and text line. Less is more. Tausch, tell us about what AmFam has going on so we can get to more calls coming up.
Packer fans, ready for some game day excitement? Well, the next time you're up at Lambeau, stop by the American Family Insurance Titletown House and experience the thrill of making a game-saving play with our interactive Protect the End Zone game. Plus, don't miss out on all the amazing giveaways, from exclusive Packers merch to special prizes. There's a little something for everybody. Visit us at Titletown to make your game day unforgettable. For more info, check out amfam.com/Packers. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully.
We'll get to more of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Even when you think you know what's going on, you can never be too sure.
What's the matter with my camera?
Can you straighten up?
You are in the bottommost corner.
Hold on.
There's nothing wrong with what he's doing.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
Hey,
I didn't come to work to get yelled at today.
Any
Damn
day,
it.
Any day Chewy shows up on any camera,
better?
not sideways, it's a win.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Kevin Moret for Mentality. Most new Mentality clients are stuck running on just 1/3 of the free testosterone they need, and that's why nothing feels right. You're drained, frustrated, and stuck in a body that won't respond to diet or exercise. But it's not your fault. Mentality's doctors specialize in fixing the imbalance. When your free testosterone is restored, everything changes. Your strength, your energy, and drive all come roaring back. Start the year strong with our New Year's offer at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Save big money at Menards. Do you need durable flooring that stands up to life's messes? Update your home with new vinyl plank flooring. Peyton Vinyl Plank comes in 2 styles with a realistic wood look. It features an attached pad for easy installation, plus it's waterproof and durable. Peyton Vinyl Plank flooring is just $139 per square foot. Trust Menards for all your flooring needs. Sale prices good through January 26th.
Save big money at Menards.
Whether you are a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit our great city of Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Hey, maybe you got friends coming in from out of town. St. Kate the Arts Hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music, you and your friends will enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Records. Greatest shot blocker for Marquette, Jim McIlvain. Second best shot blocker, Jim McIlvain on a bad day. 13 block shots against Northeastern Illinois in 92. Best ever by someone other than Jim McIlvain, 8. Theo John, Amal McCaskill, and Walter Downing. And one other with 8 blocks in a game, 5 different times. Yep, Jim McIlvain. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The Green Bay Packers simply couldn't beat the elite talent in the NFC.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
They were good. They were not good enough.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Four 770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Better, worse, or the same you feel about the Packers after seeing how the NFC playoffs have played out? I'm not here to tell you how to fan, but I feel like I would feel worse. I know Tausch does.
Jesse, do you feel worse?
He feels worse about the Lions season being over.
I do not feel worse about the Lions season being over, and I feel the same. Like, I think the Eagles were better than the Packers. I disagree with the people who were saying that the Packers beat themselves in that game against Philadelphia. Like, yeah, the opening kickoff fumble obviously was like the game changer, but Philadelphia outplayed.
How many turnovers
the
did we have?
Yeah, 4, right? 3?
Yeah, 4.
How many did they have? How many did they have?
1 or none?
I don't think they had any.
I don't think they had any.
Yeah?
How are you saying we didn't beat ourselves in that game? What are you talking about?
Because Philadelphia's defense was good enough to also force those turnovers. It wasn't just the Packers making mistakes. Like, their defense was good, too.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know,
Let's find out
Jim.
from Mo. Let's ask Mo.
Let's ask Mo in Illinois. Mo, good morning. Welcome to Wilde And Tausch. How are you?
Morning, gentlemen. I'm doing good. Hope you guys are well.
I want to know, is Mo feeling worse? Because you were pretty downtrodden when you joined us after the Eagles lost last Monday and you called it.
Honestly, I'm just unaffected because it's like I can't feel any different because this team showed me who they were all season long. I mean, guys, we could only talk for so long about they could be this, they could have been this. I could have been a doctor instead of x-raying patients. I could have been having a six-pack instead of eating chips and candy and ice cream. Like, until I actually do it and I'm about to talk, it doesn't matter. Like, it's all empty words. So this is why I'm kind of, like, frustrated
really good, Mo.
with the Packers. I mean, look, it's all season long. It's like we're saying the same thing, and we're like hoping that this Packers team is a different version, a more disciplined team, a team that utilizes play action more, receivers catching the passes. But when I watch these playoff teams, if one thing is clear to me, the Packers have a clear deficiency in personnel. They don't have a go-to guy. I mean, you look at the Commanders. When they need a play, they go to Terry McLaurin. The Lions, they got eliminated. They have Amon-Ra and Jameson. You have the Eagles. They have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Who do the Packers have? They have a bunch of guys that are okay, but they won't make that big-time play when you need it. So going into next season, my outlook on this team, assuming Brian Gutekunst does his job and upgrades the personnel at wide receiver, edge rusher, and maybe in the secondary, the Packers have a path to get back to where they want. Because you're looking at the division, J.J. McCarthy's going to be a rookie. Now, I played against J.J. McCarthy in high school. Did he torch us? Yes, he did. But he's a rookie. This is the NFL. It's not high school anymore. He's going to be a path for them. But they need to get back on the right track.
What did you play?
Yeah.
What position?
You can't drop that and not expect follow-up questions.
Like, give us some scoopage, Mo. Like, what? That was that was quick. Tell us more.
Yeah. Well, I was a 6'4", 265-pound left tackle. And then I
How are your
got
feet?
offered by. I'm really good with my feet. That's what I was known for. St. Norbert College offered me. It's right next to Green Bay. I was more of like a faster lineman. I wasn't really known for like the strength part. I mean, I'm strong, but my feet. You're not getting around the edge on me. I'm not letting Rashawn Gary get on the edge on me.
That's it, Mo.
Sounds like
Love
Tausch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm at, boys. I mean, I hope they could get back to their winning ways. I still don't believe in Matt LaFleur, personally. That's just my opinion. I hope I'm proven wrong. I've lost total faith in him, but I hope I'm wrong.
Wow. All right. You and Jeff are on the same page there on losing faith.
Hey, Mo, before you go,
LaFleur.
and we're going to hit on this tomorrow more, but I'm fascinated as Washington is marching towards a NFC Championship game. Is this a Jaden Daniels is making these guys more playmakers, or is this their roster's better? Because I don't think Washington's roster's better than Green Bay's.
Yeah, but I think in the positions that matter most, they have guys like defensive line. They have studs up there. Wide receiver, like I said, they have Terry McLaurin. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is a dog. I mean, he's elevating the play of the players around him. That's not a secret. I mean, everyone could see that. But at the end of the day, they have the coaching, they have the personnel, and they're disciplined. They don't beat themselves, and that's why they're in the position they are right now.
The don't beat yourselves part.
You like Jaden Daniels more than Jordan Love?
Ooh.
That's the question.
That's what we're going to do tomorrow? That's a tease.
Yeah.
Mo, do you?
Mo?
I do. Without a doubt, I do.
Boy.
I like Jaden.
Oh, snap.
That's what I'm nervous about. That's what I'm nervous about. All right, Mo, thanks for the call. Mo, a nifty-footed left tackle. I like that.
Yeah, but did he play hacky sack?
St. Norbert's big hockey school, too.
What's its SEC comp?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
You guys are cute.
All right, we need to get to the 11
There are going to be those conversations, people. I mean, we might as well take it on. We can sit here and say, well, they're better here, Jaden Daniels just had the best rookie campaign I think you could ever imagine, maybe outside of Ben Roethlisberger.
And he played before Thanksgiving.
I don't know if anybody's had a better rookie campaign. Tell me who.
No, I agree, but it does undermine the no Frosh play until after Thanksgiving Day.
It does.
Michael Penix played pretty well when he took over for Kirk Cousins.
Michael Penix stinks. Let's come on. Don't insult Jaden Daniels by putting Michael Penix in the same.
Bo
Michael
Nix
Penix
played.
doesn't stink.
What about Bo Nix?
Bo Nix is fine.
What about Drake May?
He's fine. Are any of those guys in the NFC Championship game?
Well, they're not, but their teams were definitely not as good as what Washington is doing.
I think Denver's team is. I think Denver's team is as good, if not better, than Washington. Denver ran into a Buffalo Bills team that is much better.
Well, we'll see if the Joe Witt-led defense can hold Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley to few enough points for the Washington Commanders to reach the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that. We'll get some more of your calls and some of your texts on the Carbless Talk and Text line during the 11 o'clock hour. That starts in 2 minutes. I want to remind you, though, that Bucks and 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network is there for you to catch the biggest plays on the court, the comments made in the locker room after the game. You can get in-depth recaps of every Bucks game in just 6 minutes. No more, no less. It's Bucks and 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or you just want to hear our buddy Justin Garcia making a call or Dave Kane, whatever it might be, you get to relive the biggest moments in Bucks in 6. Game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Dame, and catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and I hate it when you do this, old boy. Because now that you tease this, now everybody in the YouTube comments, now I'm getting tweets. They want to do tomorrow's show now.
Yeah, I don't blame them. It's not how we roll.
Well, we're trying to space out the Packers topics. No, but here, I've got, let me make sure that I give credit where it's due. Green Bay G. I feel like you should be required to put your full name on these. CJ Stroud last year had a really, really good rookie season too, right? And we saw CJ Stroud come to Lambeau Field and we thought he stunk, right? And he did for a good chunk of the season. They obviously won a playoff game, but I don't know, Jim.
Didn't throw as many picks as Jordan Love in the playoffs.
No, that's true. But
Philly, no, that's not fair. Philly forced that.
That's what I heard.
The stat is
on
still
this
the
very
stat.
No, it's not. It's not Jordan's fault. That's
Malik
Philly's fault.
Heath running that route at the wrong
did
depth.
Not say that.
No, you literally said that exact thing. Jason, am I crazy? Is that not what he just said?
Check the tape. Check the tape.
Not what I said. What I said.
You did.
But you did.
I said Philadelphia's defense forced turnovers. It wasn't all on Jordan Love.
That's not what you said. But okay.
Okay.
Not going to fight.
Tennessee.
I did my fighting at the 9 o'clock hour, not in 11.
Tennessee Volunteers women's basketball. All right. I think it's worthwhile because I understand that the season is over regardless, and the poll question becomes a little bit moot, obviously, because what really matters is whether or not your team made it to the Super Bowl, and the Packers didn't do that. But it is there. The folks that are saying they feel better about the playoff exit, Tausch, have now pulled out. They were in the cellar by a long distance, and now the breakdown is feel the same, doesn't matter. 70.9%. I figured that would win. Worse, 14.9%. Better, 14.1%. Could someone explain to me what has happened in the postseason to make you feel better about the Packers punching out of the playoffs? Because
Schadenfreude.
Looking at what the Washington Commanders, I almost called them the Washington Generals, the Washington Commanders have done, I got to think why wouldn't you feel worse and feel like your team could have done that unless you're convinced that they're just not that good?
It's a Schadenfreude deal. The fact that Detroit and Minnesota, your big rivals, both fell flat on their face and nobody in the NFC North won a game in the playoffs. That's the only reason you'd feel better. You don't feel better about Green Bay. Like, if you're looking at this thing realistically, you know this was a missed opportunity year, but I can't argue with Mo. Mo said it best when he said, what do you expect? This is who they were all season. Why would they all of a sudden change?
Yeah, he is right about that.
You know, his whole thing hit me hard when he's talking about, you eat ice cream and cookies and you expect to have a six-pack. That couldn't sum it up better. It's the best analogy of 2025. It's 100% right.
A lot of ball game left, but yes.
All of a sudden you think, oh, yeah, my six-pack's going to pop. I'm going to keep wolfing down salty cow ice cream. Trust me, I've seen that movie. There ain't no six-pack coming.
More free ice cream
Green Bay turns it over. They're sloppy. Ice cream doesn't count. Ice cream is exempt. All this stuff, and all of a sudden we think because they play Philly in the playoffs, they're going to all of a sudden be tight with everything and play great, solid, sound football?
Yeah.
What are we, shame on me. Mo money. Mo hit it right on the head. So for all of us that feel like, well, there was missed opportunity, no. We weren't good enough to take advantage of the opportunity. What do I say about luck and hard work and opportunity? You know that saying better than I do.
I do.
When preparation meets opportunity, that's not luck. That's what you say you work. And in this case, we did what we did. That's not the right quote anyway.
It is.
But
it is luck is when preparation meets opportunity. That is the quote. You nailed it.
There's some essence of that. My point is, you don't win championships on luck. You need some luck to steer you, but you have to be good enough to take advantage of that luck. This team wasn't. And they weren't all year, and for some reason I thought
themselves.
When they take their shirts off on the beach and they don't have swim shirts on, they're going to be popping six-packs. Well, they had dad bod because there's too many sweets and not enough push-ups and pull-ups and sit-ups. That's what the Packers season was this year.
31 flavors, not 31 workouts, am I right?
It is sassy cow ice cream. You called it salty cow. I've heard it both ways.
No, the ice cream that I love at Sassy Cow is Salty Cow, so please rescind your condescension to me, Jesse.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
I like the peanut butter pie
I don't understand.
flavor that they have.
I've said for years Salty Cow is my favorite ice cream. I've said that for years.
I just thought you were saying the name of the company wrong the whole time.
No, I'm not going to give free advertising out. You just did.
Guilty.
You said ice cream was exempt.
I'm trying to not be ornery, but Jesse keeps putting me in a position to be ornery. I don't want to be.
You are definitely ornery.
He's calling me out on stuff that's just completely absurd. Then he's telling me things he didn't say. He just said 5 minutes ago.
You. It's a good spot. Maybe we should go there today to cheer you up a little bit. Bring the family.
Nah, it's too chilly.
It's a perfect day for ice cream.
I'm going to Quick Trip to get that big bag of soup and get that warmed up. It's a soup day for old T today.
All right, we need to get to trivia. I want to read this text from JJ in Poynette on the Wilde and Tausch Carbless talk and text line. Less is more. I definitely feel worse. It's clear that our division's apparent strength was mostly the result of how bad the NFC West and AFC South are. We couldn't beat two teams that both got smoked in the playoffs. Goff and Darnold finally turned into pumpkins. That, JJ, is exactly what I thought most Packers fans were going to be feeling. That is exactly what prompted my question. Precisely. And maybe, I guess I misread the room. Because that's how I would feel. Because the NFC North being the best division in football, Tausch, was that a figment of our imagination? Was that, as JJ, I think correctly, in my opinion, points out, that the AFC South, hey, helped to play all those AFC South teams because they're all bad. Houston won that division at, 10-7?
Hey, no. Let's not overreact to everything.
Well, that's what we're supposed to do.
The regular season is different than the postseason. The NFC North was the best division by far during the regular season, and in the postseason they weren't. Is it that we ended up beating up each other a little bit and playing a weaker division? Sure, you could say all that. Don't poo-poo the fact that you had a 15-win team, a 16 or 15, a 14. That is not going to be done anytime soon again. And don't poo-poo just because, it's fraudulent, all this other stuff. You only have two teams left standing. Detroit getting beat was an upset. Minnesota wasn't. Green Bay wasn't. The Detroit Lions lost 20-some-odd players, and I know you could say, well, they lost. Green Bay lost. Nobody feels sorry. Nobody does. But the reality was, for most of us that watch football, we knew that this defense wasn't wasn't going to be good enough to win a championship. Yep. Mm-hmm. You put too much on everybody else, and when you overburden, you push too hard, you fall. Your Conestoga wheel falls off, and you're not going to be able to recover in time to get a new Conestoga wheel put up with all the wood and the lathing. You don't have time to regroup in the playoffs, and you end up sitting on the side of the road hoping somebody pulls up with a better Conestoga that can get you there, and typically you don't, and then you have to go into the shop, and you got to reload next year.
I thought that dysentery line was pretty good.
Conestoga, am I right?
Tausch, we're going to play trivia next. Tell us again about Pella Windows and Doors. Talk about having a better Conestoga. Have a better window experience with Pella.
Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from the seasonal affective disorder, and I get it. January's been a very frigid month, plenty of gray and frigid days. And we just want to be snugly and warm at home, and we don't want all of our energy flying out the window. Well, Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0 interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But hurry up, you only have until January 31st, so visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Certain restrictions do apply.
All right, Jesse, what's today's category, and who do you want?
It is the sports weekend recap, since we didn't have a show yesterday, and there was still, I count the college football playoff last night being part of the weekend. So
should be on January 1st, though.
Caller 13, lucky 13 today.
All right, caller 13, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Plays trivia next. Caller 13, 844-770-3776. We'll play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all
all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside, with inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has 13 Milwaukee area branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's game day for the Golden Eagles.
Back to Mitchell. He's got an open three. Good!
Tonight, Marquette visits Seton Hall for a Big East clash. Our game night coverage tips off with Gabe Neitzel and the Marquette Sports Network pregame show at 6:30. Homer and Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith are on the call at 7 o'clock.
Cam Jones, open three. Good! Good! Marquette within 4.
94.5 ESPN is your official home for Marquette basketball. We are Marquette.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Wilde And Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Let's play some trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants. It is Big Pete in G-Town. Pete, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jason. Friend's house. How you guys?
We're great. Is it bitterly cold in G-Town, which I assume means Germantown, correct?
It does mean Germantown. It's not as cold as you in Green Bay. It was minus 11 this morning when I went to work.
This is not fun, but at least the internet's working for now. All right, let's play some trivia. The category is the Sports Weekend Recap. Tausch, are you participating in this, or am I handling it?
Yeah, I'll do my share.
All right, then Tausch has question number 1.
All right. Which Bucks player was named NBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week for the 20?
Oh, I like it. How many words did you get into that question? Which Bucks player?
I love it. I would love
named...
for someone to just go without listening to any of the choices. and you can interrupt at any time. I think it's a fun way to do it.
All right.
It's a dangerous game to play.
It is.
I pulled a Tausch.
Yes, it is.
All right, here
Yes,
we go.
you did.
Pete, let's see. I will read the question somewhat slowly for question 2. And we will not hold it against you if you guess something that's not even one of the answers. All right, here we go. Question 2. Marquette men's basketball was handed its first loss in Big East Conference play this weekend in a 59-57 defeat at home to which opponent? And now that I've gotten to the end of the question, I'll give you the options.
Upped it there.
Oh. Well, your choices are Creighton, Xavier, and Butler.
Creighton.
I love your stick-to-itiveness. We tried to help you 4 times, and I love the fact that you stubbornly kept saying Creighton. I loved it. I mean, pretty sure it was Creighton. We lost.
It's got to be Creighton.
That was awesome. You sure?
Yeah, Creighton.
Are you sure it's Creighton? No, Creighton. Creighton, God darn it.
That was amazing.
That was fun.
Well,
was really
I stuck my foot in it.
For the record, it was Xavier.
I love that.
No, it was Creighton.
That's the best trivia answer of the new year. All right, which men's basketball team is currently in first place?
Creighton.
In the Big Ten standings. Is it Creighton? Is it Creighton? No, that's funny. Who's undefeated in the Big Ten? Is it Purdue?
All right, shut up, Pete.
All right, Pete. Who's undefeated in the Big Ten? Is it Purdue, Michigan State, or Illinois?
Wow. I'll go with Michigan State.
It's Creighton. But actually, in an upset, Creighton is not. Jesse, this is an old episode of Cheers, but Creighton has not lost a Big Ten game either.
Michigan State is the Creighton of the Big Ten right now, though. They are the top of the standings.
Oh, that was fun.
Thanks for
really fun.
injecting some.
Too much here.
Thanks for injecting some levity into our game today. You got 2 out of 3 right. You got 3 of the possible 4 entries into Friday's drawing. We appreciate you playing, buddy. Thanks a lot.
I love you guys.
That was really fun. That was really, really, really fun. By the way, Jesse, I saw this on the show sheet. Did somehow, despite the outstanding clock management that occurred while you guys were eating your Gotham bagels and eating salty, sassy cow ice cream together, with Joe Thomas in as our cousin sub of the day, did you not pull a winner for trivia last week?
We did not. No, I was going to have Joe pull it out of the cheese fry helmet and everything. We did not do that, so we will do that coming up next. Failure on our end. I take full accountability.
Okay. That sounded like somewhat accountability, not full accountability. But
I don't know if Tausch has anything he wants to add to the thing. We might have talked about it, but it's on me.
Talked about what?
Creighton.
We talked about Associated Bank and all the great perks that come with being an Associated Bank customer. Yes, Packers checking. Outstanding, right? If you're a Packers fan, there's no better place to be. You get to show your Packers fandom with your Packers debit MasterCard, your Packers checks, and your 10% discount at the Packers Pro Shop in-store and online. But you also get all these other great perks that set Associated Bank apart, like Credit Monitor. You get your free credit score, credit and fraud alerts, and more from anywhere with your free balance checking or choice checking accounts. You get early pay, which as in up to 2 days early with your direct deposit from your employer, and there's no hoops to jump through for it either. There's $50 overdraft grace zone. So there's no fee if you overdraw your checking account by $50 or less. They've got you covered. And, of course, they've got a great app that allows you to do all your banking and Find out more about your money and ways that you can make your money grow through their actionable insights subscription that you can get, your money monitor, all those things and more, all from Associated Bank. So go to associatedbank.com to find out more. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a 2-man scramble at Pebble Beach, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through January 31st. Your winter chance to play Pebble Beach awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Fingers come in different sizes.
It's one of the first things you learn as a jeweler.
And a ring can only be sized up or down a little bit.
Which means it's a really good thing to know your ring size.
And it's an even better thing to know their ring size.
This is why we're announcing
the Ring Size Registry at Kessler's.
We're doing it as a public service. It's completely free.
Free. Isn't that a great price?
Here's how it works.
Just drop into any Kessler's Diamonds location and tell one of the owners that you'd like to know your ring size.
Kessler's is an employee-owned company, so whoever greets you at the door is an owner.
They'll determine your ring sizes and add them to our Ring Size Registry.
Then, when someone wants to know your ring size...
Because, maybe they want to surprise you.
All they have to do is call or stop into Kessler's.
Surprises can be fun, don't you think?
We're happy to do this for you, even if you don't buy a ring from us.
But after you take a look around, we think you probably will. Visit KesslersDiamonds.com for a location near you and register your ring sizes today.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Thanks again to Big Pete in G-Town for playing trivia and interjecting our little fun. Speaking of trivia, Jesse, before you get into Wonelli, did you want to pick last week's winner now?
I sure do. 4 contestants from last week. We did not play.
Perfect week?
No. Our last contestant on Friday during TNT, Tausch and Thomas, Elijah missed, I think, the final question of the week, which prevented us from having a condensed perfect week. So a lot of chips in the cheese fry helmet I have selected. And what do you know? The only person who got one wrong is the winner. Elijah in Poinette. Nice win against the odds. He wins Wilde and Tausch trivia.
I wonder if he knows JJ in Poinette, who had the good text on the Carbless Talk and Text line moments ago. Time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wonelli
on Wilde and Tausch.
That also means another time that Dan in Brothertown has not been selected as the Wilde and Tausch trivia winner.
That's a real killer.
A lot of bites at the apple without ever bringing home a chip for Dan in Brothertown. So Beck and I had a little getaway weekend up to our cabin up in Crivets this weekend. I wanted to watch all of the football Saturday and Sunday. She wanted to watch none of the football. There was only one TV in the building. What's the right compromise?
I'm confused,
what happened
though.
to your baby phone magnifier?
Why would you go up north to watch television?
Well, because it's freezing cold. That's part of the reason why. We wanted to just mix it up a little bit. It's a cold, extended weekend. We wanted to get up there and took care of a couple of things. It's a fun place to be. You know, you get to go to the local pub, go to the meat raffle on Saturday afternoon, have the dog. He could run around outside on Saturday. We actually went out for a walk on the lake, around the lake, and he was running around chasing his ball.
On the lake?
Yeah,
it
was well frozen over. There were some ice fishermen out there. Mo was going around saying hi to everybody. It was a good time. And we had a fun, relaxing time away from home up north over the weekend. Except for the TV situation with football. Tausch, you said the baby phone, which did make an appearance, but that doesn't answer, like, are you saying 100% baby phone and then Becca picks whatever on the big screen, or what's the compromise here?
I think you pick which day you wanted to watch ball, and then she gets the other day, and then if you want, you small baby phone the rest of it. If that's, I don't know which games you wanted to watch, I don't know what you had planned, but you split days, you take baby phone, use that thing Joshy D got you, magnify it up, and I think you should be content with that. That's if you only have one TV. Otherwise, why wouldn't you just go to the bar and go watch it with Up North Joe and the rest of your friends up there?
Well, they weren't up there. It was just us this weekend. A lot of people, like Jason's logic, didn't want to go up north this weekend because it was so cold.
So it goes back to my original question.
Is why the question was not, should we have gone up north this weekend? The question is, how should we have compromised the TV situation with the football games?
But you would agree that this would not have been an issue had you not gone up north.
Correct. Yes, we could have stayed home, and I could have gone in the basement with the big screen TV we have down in that area, and I could have watched the entire allotment of games that I wanted to there, and we could have shared anytime we wanted to. And yes, that could have happened.
Okay.
But we wanted to go up north this weekend.
Okay. Hey, man, you make your decisions. God bless you for them. I just am trying to understand it. I don't have a bougie cabin up north to go to, so I don't have this decision to make. That's all. Good for you with your cabin.
Who taught you bougie?
So Up North Joe stayed at East Troy, though.
Yeah, Up North Joe. I think they bought a minivan this weekend. Good for Up North Joe.
Okay, just trying to understand what's going
much more
on.
Productive weekend.
Whoa, Nelly!
You guys were no help at all.
Jason,
with that.
did you give him an answer to his question, or did you just?
In fairness, you hardly did.
What do you mean? I hardly did. I gave you exactly what you should have done. What else did you want me to say?
Do you have NFL Plus? Could you have streamed it on another device?
I was able to pull up the games that we didn't have on the big screen on my phone, yes.
Then that's the answer. I just don't understand why you would travel all the way to Crivets to watch television. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa, Nelly!
It's not all we did all weekend.
Oh, what else did you do, Jesse?
We walked around the lake. We went outside. We went over to the bar. We took care of some things around the house. Like, it was a very relaxing, somewhat productive week. Played a game that Dennis Semrau bought us as a Christmas present a couple of years ago.
Canyon?
No, Canyon was up there, though. All right.
Whoa, Nelly!
Last question on the college football playoff, and it's not about is Wisconsin, Texas A&M, or South Carolina, or Tennessee. Has Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman made Notre Dame likable? Scott Van Pelt said that on SportsCenter last night following the end of the game. Tausch, has he done it?
I think last night he did. In general, no, I still would probably say they're not. And by the way, I don't think they should be given this unfair advantage. They get to schedule whoever they want.
Oh, being an
They don't have to play in a Big Ten or an ACC or an SEC championship and still be fine. I'm out on this. They need to join a conference or they shouldn't be invited. Period.
As much as I don't want to do this, I'm with Tausch again. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Can we put this on the plate of all the other things that need to be done to fix college football?
Well, the easy thing would be is college football just makes a consortium and says, you know what? We're not going to give out a big fat contract to Notre Dame. You need to be in the Big Ten, SEC, AC, whatever you want to do. And you have to be in it with everybody else. That'd be like, well, I don't even know. There's no correlation to anything else that I could think of. None.
You're right.
You're in a governing body, which I know needs to be governed better, but Notre Dame could schedule whoever they want. If they have one loss, they're going to be in the 12-team playoff, and depending on how they get scheduled in, they're not going to have to go and play on in Indy or in Georgia and play a big boy squad in a conference championship setup. Like, you either say, I'm in and I figure this out, or you go off on your own and just nobody plays with them. But what are we doing here? This isn't the 80s, man. There's a new game in town, and you don't get to set your own rules. And if you do, blank off. Like, I'm sorry, it's just how it is.
This has been Whoa, Nelly.
Doesn't sound very likable to me.
Yeah,
I think he's done a good job. He's obviously a lot more likable than Brian Kelly ever was. And I was rooting for Notre Dame, and I normally don't, even though I love Notre Dame's campus. I love the grotto. I love a lot of stuff about Notre Dame.
Ooh, the grotto.
But let's get serious here. You don't get to dictate everything and then take all the money to yourself in a world where money is ruling everything. You don't have to share it with anybody else. That ain't fair. And then you don't have to play in a conference championship. That ain't fair. And you get to dictate. You get to play Northern Illinois, no offense. Even though you get beat, you still get in the playoff? I'm out on that action, man. I'm out.
Once again, I am Team Tausch. But to answer the question, I do think he has made them more likable, yes. I do agree with that position. I also agree. Last night, got done with basketball practice, frigid temperatures on our drive home, and yet we made sure we stopped at Quick Trip. Sid wanted a smoothie. I wanted a Long John. We both got what we wanted at our local Quick Trip.
Well, life is busy, as Jason just mentioned, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're craving that fresh, hot coffee on a cold day, a tasty bakery treat, or a quick grab-and-go meal, Quick Trip's got it all. Variety and quality, fast service, free air to make sure your tires are filled up. Make sure you get that free air, plus you got ATMs, everything else. Nature's Touch butter, $2.99 a pack. Varieties of bagels, 99 cents each. And, of course, the chicken yesterday, $6.99 a whole roasted chicken, $8.99 fried chicken or tenders. And what I'm going to do today, cold wintry day. Big ol' soup bag on special for $6.99 every Tuesday. You can also get pizzas if you want, $6.99 thin, $9.99 for specialty crust. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. You can order ahead and pick it up curbside. Quick Trip, we will see you next time.
My guy didn't say we'll see you next time. He said, have a good night. I was taken aback. So Sydney said it on our way out the door. Instead, we will be on our way out the door. The show will wrap up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And sponsored by American Family Insurance. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Right now, they'd be a toss-up with the herd.
People just don't know how funny mean you are.
Come on.
Well, I mean, that's mean, but it's funny, and the funny trumps the mean, and so you laugh.
But there might be some truth to that.
Of course there's some truth to it.
The Homer Hour with Homer. Weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Homer here. I'm inviting you to join me starting August the 9th, as we explore the many shades of Ireland with Colette Vacations. A 10-day journey filled with legendary views, historic expeditions, and unforgettable tales. Explore the historic city of Dublin, kiss the famous Blarney Stone, and stand on the spectacular cliffs of Moher. We'll also journey Ireland's breathtaking countryside and follow the stunning coastal route of the Ring of Kerry. We'll experience the daily life of an Irish family with a dairy farm visit, and even enjoy a taste or two at a historic whiskey distillery. Plus, there's a stay overnight at a medieval castle. Join me for all of these experiences and many more. Visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for trip information or come to Maddie's Barn Grill in New Berlin on February the 2nd to meet me and the Colette team. Colette handles all the details of the 10-day excursion, the flights, the meals, the hotels, the experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss out. Learn all about it on February 2nd at 5 p.m. in New Berlin at Maddie's Barn Grill.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Do we need to start the Andy Reid GOAT conversation as it relates to Belichick? Is that conversation up for grabs here?
I mean, it should have started already. I mean, Andy Reid has won 100-plus games with two different franchises. So it's not as if it's a situation where he just became a good coach when Patrick Mahomes arrived into the NFL. He's been doing it at a high level for a really long time. Where they went to 4 conference championship games with the Philadelphia Eagles, got to a Super Bowl. So even though he hadn't had the high-end success, even though he was the bridesmaid, never a bride, we all knew that Andy Reid, from an X's and O's standpoint, was one of the best in the game. Now, game management used to be his Achilles heel, but not anymore, because we're seeing it with the Kansas City Chiefs. This team is used to being in and winning close football games. So, yeah, I think we're going to start having that conversation about Andy Reid, and the volume on it is going to get ratcheted up louder.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen coming up Wednesday. Who will be the first QB drafted? Mel Kiper Jr. joins us at 8:30 a.m. Eastern to break down his first mock draft of the year. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
And we're going to get into it tomorrow. They are shark-infested waters, old boy.
The old YouTubers?
No. Your topic. Jaden Daniels versus Jordan Love.
Yeah.
That'll be the conversation tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm nervous.
I would describe the YouTube comments as shark-infested waters, just for the record.
Just because they're not nice to you, does it? Maybe if you were nicer to them, they'd be nicer to you. My concern is that it's going to get people really riled up. And I think there's going to be some emotion that will not be reasonable. I think it's going to get ugly. And I think we were guilty of crowning Jordan Love prematurely. We'll see if Jaden Daniels is playing in a Super Bowl in a couple weeks. Then I can't say that we've crowned him early. I'm really curious how this goes tomorrow.
The pride of LSU,
I do think one
Wisconsin of the SEC.
No, LSU's above where we're at. I do think one of the funny, I just saw this on Twitter before we go, Dan Campbell as the Fresh Prince, at the end of that season, when everybody leaves and he's in the living room all by himself.
Yeah.
That'll tell you a lot. Detroit, I think it could be a long offseason for the Detroit football Lions.
We'll talk about that, and we'll talk Jaden Daniels versus Jordan Love. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today through some of my technical difficulties. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucs fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucs.com/tickets. That's Bucs.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires.
The longest postseason climb in the history of the sport. And after all that, it's Ohio State together at the mountaintop, champions of college football.
There's not many words to say when everybody's hurting. I'm proud of what they've done. I'm proud of who they are, the way they represent themselves, and it's just an honor to be on this journey with them.
We've learned a lot, been through ups and downs. I've been through ups and downs. I don't even recognize the person I was before I got to Notre Dame, and it's all credit to these guys beside me and everybody else in the locker room.
What a season. When you slice it both ways, everything Notre Dame did coming back from the Northern Illinois loss at the beginning of the season, everything Ohio State did following the Michigan disaster, beating Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, and Notre Dame and covering the spread. every step of the way in that process. Just phenomenal. He's Gabe Neitzel. I'm Joe Fortenbaugh. This is ESPN Radio. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. Thanks for taking some time to join us today. We greatly appreciate it. We started the show with Ryan Day's flowers and praise for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now we want to turn our attention to Notre Dame. A phenomenal season, no doubt, but some interesting decision-making last night on behalf of the Irish coaching staff in some key spots. Would different decisions have yielded a different outcome? We have no idea. Probably not, but we still want to talk about it. Marcus Freeman, the head coach, addressed the media after the game. I want to set the stage for you here. The question is about the decision to kick a field goal with the Irish trailing 31-15. So think about that. They're down 16. They need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie the game. There's about 9.5 minutes left in this game. 4th and goal from the Ohio State 9-yard line. Rather than try to score a TD there, the thought process for Freeman was let's kick a field goal and then we'll turn a 2-score game into a 2-score game. Wasn't met with a lot of agreement, shall we say, on social media. Here's Freeman explaining the decision.
I just thought, instead of being down 16, let's try to go down 13. And I know it's still a 2-score game, but you have a better probability of getting 14 points than you do 16 points. And so if it was a shorter fourth and goal situation, I probably would have gone for it, but I just felt 4th and 9 was not a great chance for us to make that. And, I decided to kick it, and we didn't make it.
Now, they missed the field goal, but we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus. We are a process-driven show, Gabe Neitzel. Results don't mean anything around here. Nothing at all. We are about process. Yeah, just focus on your process. The process is tight. Who cares about the results? What'd you think of Freeman's process last night?
I guess I understand it when your offense hasn't been moving, but then you need to make better decisions to get yourself in a position so you can go for it, so you're comfortable going for it, because you're not going to always get those opportunities to get the ball back. That's the problem with this, is Ohio State was going on such long drives, and Notre Dame did that at the beginning of the game. Who knows if you're going to get the ball back? At that point, with 10 minutes left or whatever it was, are you going to get 2 more possessions if you kick that field goal? They ultimately really didn't. Yeah, they got one after Ohio State kicked the field goal, and there's just over a minute left or whatever. But that's now you're in desperation time.